gift of Troy is a fabulous fabric from the land of the five rivers.
Beatsmith music.
What's going on, y'all, man? I appreciate everybody coming through, man. We're going to have a great shape show today. Hold on one second. I'm hearing the playback here. Hold on. I'm already messing up over here. Hold on one second. Boom. All right, we back. Man, appreciate everybody coming through, man. I'm sorry I'm late, man. This has been a usual occurrence, man. I gotta get my act together, but I appreciate everybody coming through. I see y'all in the chat. I'm going to get to y'all in a second, but we're going to have a great show. We're going to talk about a few things, Mark Davis, Dave Z, the future of the Raiders, all that good stuff that we like to talk about over here on this channel and Raider Race channel. Hold on, let me get to the chat, man. I appreciate everybody coming through. Robert Pena says, salute, Pharoah, happy Easter, Raider Nation family. Hey, appreciate it, man. Hey, likewise, enjoy the festivities this weekend and be with your family and have a good time. Daniel Kim in the building, he says, salute, Pharoah, salute, Ray, man. I appreciate you coming through, my guy. And he all right, my guy, Daniel Kim, one of my mods. Rado Primos, he says, salute to the nation. I think it is a mixture of both. They are retooling for the 2023 season to show improvement. That then a 6-11 record doesn't mean playoffs, but they are thinking of the future also. Okay. And as you can see, there is a poll that I put. Are the Raiders retooling or rebuilding? Make sure you vote on a poll, and then we'll release the results sometime during the show, and we'll talk about that as well. But Holly in the building with my mods. I appreciate you coming through. Says Pharoah, salute. Man, appreciate it. Yeah, Hatamaki, we can't have another season like this. For real, man. But it is what it is, man. We can only control what we can control, man. But I appreciate everybody coming through. I'm not gonna let my host wait any longer. Let me give him a proper introduction. Raider Ray, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? First things first, before we even do anything, your intro, top 5 all time. I'm talking up there. I'm talking up there with no particular order. I don't want people coming from my head, but Jurassic Park, Jaws, Star Wars, Pharoah NFL.
Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. I try my best. But yeah, man, we have a lot to talk about today, man. And let's get into it, man. Let's talk about the recent news at least. And salute to everybody that's pulled up. The Raiders this week is a little slow week. They're going through some visits, top 30 visits. We'll get into that in a little bit. But let's start with the recent signing of backup QB, Brian Hoyer. He signs with the Raiders. What are your thoughts on the signing?
To me, anytime I see a signing like this, I think Jimmy Garoppolo is a penciled-in starter, but Brian Hoyer, to me, he's another QB coach. I would be shocked if the Raiders don't come away with a rookie quarterback in this draft at some point. You could argue that it's at 7, it's at 3, maybe later in the draft, but I think Brian Hoyer is going to be that quarterback coach guy who can. He's been in the system. He just came over from New England. He's going to be able to coach up these guys. So I look at it nothing more than just a QB coach on the field.
Okay. Do you think that stops him from drafting a QB?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay, I agree 100%. I think it's been a while since Jimmy G has played in the Patriots offense, McDaniel's offense. I'm sure he will, he'll be able to, get his act together as far as learning the offense. But he's been with, Kyle Shanahan for the last few years. So, and it is a tough offense to learn. So he needs a refresher, and having a guy like Hoyer that's pretty much been in that system, I don't know for how long. So it makes sense. And then also, yeah, I agree too as well, is that we're probably not going to go after we probably are going to still go after a rookie QB because having another guy that knows the offense well, that'd be a nice teacher for that rookie QB to come in. But who knows where they're going to go in the draft. I mean, I have my thoughts. It's a little bit pretty confident. I was like, hey, the Raiders got to go first round, but now it's kind of like, I don't know, and that's the beauty of the draft and what the Raiders are doing right now. They're keeping us on our toes. We don't know what they're going to do.
Don't look at the smoke too much, Pharaoh.
I know
Don't
there's
look.
so much smoke, and that's what
I
has
know.
me like, okay, I don't know what they're going to do.
Right.
Because going defense makes sense, trading back makes sense, going with the QB makes sense. I can see the logic behind all those moves. Except for that recent mock draft that I just seen that had us picking an O-lineman in the first round. Please, no.
No.
Come on, Raiders. I know our O-line needs some talent, but in the first round, I just don't want to see a first round pick with the O-lineman. But we need all the talent that we can get. But yeah, let's get into it, man. The top 30 visits also happened this week. They're still incoming, but they had my guy, Bryce Young, this Thursday. Yesterday they had Anthony Richardson. With our recent report said that it went well, and I think they had Joey Porter in for a visit and countless others. Like, what do you make of the top 30 visits? Is it a big deal?
It is, but it isn't. A lot of this is checking some answers that you don't necessarily have. But I did a study this week, going back and revisiting the Raiders draft with the top 30 visits, and so specifically last season, I mean, they had top 30 visits with a ton of the prospects, a lot of the day 3 guys. The only top 30 visit that they actually had that was actually drafted was Thayer Mumford. So, and that was in the 7th round. So I found that pretty interesting. So this is just nothing but the organization doing homework. You've got 32 other organizations bringing in a lot of the same guys. Not everybody's going to be able to pick the same player. So they're just doing their due diligence. And especially if one of these guys land with another team in the division, maybe they have an idea of who this player is. So I don't look too much into it.
Also, it's another, just like I was talking about, how I really don't know what the Raiders are going to do at number 7. I think that's also a way of kind of telling teams like, yeah, we're bringing in this player. Like, we might go here, or we might go here. We might go
just adding a little bit of fire to the smoke. That's all they're doing.
Exactly. So I
kind of felt like they showed their hand a little bit early in the offseason process. It really felt like they were really gravitating towards quarterbacks, specifically like Anthony Richardson. Dave Z, Champ Kelly went to the Tennessee and Florida game. There was those articles that came out mid-season last year that Raiders might draft a quarterback that many people aren't expecting. At the time, that conversation was Anthony Richardson before he got all the media hype kind of pushed behind him. So just to kind of like save your hand a little bit, this is the time for smoke. So just be careful. Like I said, don't stare at the smoke too much, Pharoah.
Man, but it's so hard, man. It's so hard, man. And like, cause you're so excited for the draft. You want the Raiders to get the best players available, and like guys that are, reputable sources, that, the guys in the media and, the Adam Schefters, and, list can go on even the beat writers. You can't really trust anybody, but sometimes what I like to do is just, what makes sense. But with the Raiders, they have so many needs. Everything makes sense.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
I would say trust your gut, in this process. Trust your gut with the evaluation process. What leads my hand to say I still think the Raiders are very, very much interested in a quarterback is the fact that that trade that went through with the Carolina Panthers, the Raiders matched that, except the only difference was DJ Moore and Darren Waller that was the only thing. So they preferred DJ Moore over a Darren Waller. And to see that the Raiders were that aggressive and willing to give up that much for somebody at the top of the draft, they're definitely interested. So to hear reports that they're interested in that number 3 spot, I'm not going to be surprised if they're willing to give up whatever if they do have a guy sitting there at 3 that they really like.
And before we hit up the next topic, my guy Daniel Kim with the super chat, appreciate it, my brother over here. One of my mods too, man. Hey, man, the guy, he knows what he's doing. That's why he's one of our mods here, man. I appreciate you. He says, wanted to jump on and support. My in-laws are in town, so we got to grab dinner, but can't wait to watch the run back. There's enough mods in the house, so I know y'all in a great shape. Great hands. Happy Easter. Hey, likewise, man. Hey, have a good time. Enjoy enjoy that dinner, man. I appreciate it, man. But yeah, man. Hey, look, man, we have a fantastic show coming up. So like, look, I'm gonna go ahead and get right into it. Before the show started, I set up a poll, and I pretty much asked the question: are the Raiders retooling? Are they rebuilding? And I wanted to hear from the nation first. You know what I mean? I want to hear what the thoughts from. I have my thoughts. I know Ray has his thoughts, but I wanted to hear, and I see that a few of y'all like voted a little bit here, so I'm just gonna end it real quick, and let me see if I could post this. Let's see. Can I post? Let's see if I could show the results. Can I show the results? I don't know if anybody can do that. All right. You know what? It's all good. It's all good. So, from what I can see here, it says, "Are the Raiders rebuilding or retooling?" It says about 63% of y'all said that the Raiders are actually rebuilding. Okay. And about 36% of y'all said that it's the Raiders are still focusing on winning now, retooling. They're trying to make the right adjustments so they can win in the near future. And let's get into that, man. Like, what are your thoughts? Let's before we get into what we've what we have, what we're gonna go over, especially the recent Hundo. I see some people mention the Hundo Carpenter article. We'll get into that as well. But do you feel like it's a rebuild or retooling?
These two words, it just cracks me up. Let's just say things for what they are. Let's not be ashamed of it. I do think it's a sense of a rebuild. Do I think that they completely blow up the roster and, you're starting with no stars on the team? No. I mean, they obviously went out and made a move for Devontae Adams just because the season went the way it went last year. You're not going to get rid of probably the best wide receiver in football. One, he can do things schematically for your offense. Why would you get rid of a guy like that, even if it is a rebuild? He's locked into a contract. He's making a lot of money. Unfortunately for him, this is just the situation that he's in. But he kind of agreed upon it, And Max Crosby, he's in here, and he's probably of that talent that you want to keep around. They extended him. You're happy to have that kind of player. And when you look at the roster, you've got Devontae Adams, you've got Max Crosby, you've got Colton Miller. For right now, and we'll get into it in a little bit, you have a Josh Jacobs. So you have a few key pieces to build around. And to me, anytime you have about four-star players and you're looking to retool, I mean, in my eyes, it is a slight rebuild. There's a lot of holes on this roster defensively. We're nowhere near a top 20 defense right now on paper. We're definitely in the bottom of the league. You're going to have to at least completely rebuild a defense. And I still think that there's some things on the offensive side of the ball that you can kind of patch up, especially if there's a few moves made. So in my eyes, I'm just going to say it is a form of a rebuild. Maybe you're not blowing the whole thing up, but I'm not just going to sit here and put a Band-Aid on the situation and just say it's a retool either.
Right. And I'm just going to pull this up here. I agree. I think it's a rebuild in my eyes. I think that, or a mini rebuild, or whatever you want to call it. I think they definitely want to win. I mean, who doesn't want to win? But I think that they know that this roster is not in the best shape. And look at the moves that they've made in free agency. They're going to be focusing mostly on the draft. Draft is going to be full of young players that are going to have their growing pains. They're definitely going to be talented. Hopefully they hit on those picks, but it's going to take time for them to gel because they're coming into the NFL full of grown men, young kids going into the NFL full of grown men. So it's going to be an adjustment period. Hopefully there's going to be a lot of hits more than misses, but it's still going to take some time. And just look at what guys like McDaniels, as a coach, he's had a sit-down interview, and I brought this up in the last show. He literally said it's going to take about 2 to 3 years before you see these the fruit like pretty much all these draft picks coming together.
And what is that? You know what I mean? That's not a retool. And when you have the head coach coming out and telling you, hey, look, this might be a 2 to 3 year down the road situation, that's a rebuild. You just happen to have foundational players on your roster that you can build around. Yeah.
And let's get into this Hundo Carpenter article that he recently posted. And salute to Hundo Carpenter, man, for a lot of good information. There's so much in here but let's focus on this because this is the topic of the show: the state of the Raiders. Hopefully, you guys can see it. If you guys can't see it, let me know in the chat. I'll just zoom in a little bit more. Let me see if I can zoom in. Is that good? Is that cool? Right there? Is that perfect?
Right there. Yep, that's good right there.
All right. The state of the Raiders is at worst a rebuild. I agree. I think it's a rebuild, but at best it's a retooling. So he goes on to say one executive said, "No way the Raiders signed Devontae if they really felt it was a rebuild. From what I heard, they didn't realize how bad it really was until they played the Saints in New Orleans. After that debacle, they knew, but they don't think it's a rebuild." What do you think about this quote right here? They didn't know until New Orleans.
To me, that's a little late. That is a bit late for me. But it could be very true. You go out there to New Orleans and you completely lay an egg. You don't cross the 50, with your starting quarterback. So, look, if it took that long, that is actually pretty scary to me. I don't think you necessarily know what you have until you do come in and kind of get your hands on the roster, have players and offensively, defensively run the schemes and systems that you're going to implement. You don't know, right? You don't know until you actually get your hands, you get on the field, you coach these guys, you get to know their personality. It's so much deeper than hopping on a Madden franchise and making a few trades and playing some user plays. It's not like that. So there's a lot of relationship building to do, and bringing in a completely new regime. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that it took a while to find out what this team was and what they actually had.
And then he goes on to say, asked one executive how he would classify the team today. With giving Jimmy Garoppolo the deal they did and bringing in Hoyer, they don't think it is a rebuild. Interesting. If you are rebuilding, you pick a QB that high, and it buys you time with fans, ownership around the league. I agree with that. But bringing in Hoyer shows they have real injury concerns. Who's Hoyer though?
No, yeah.
This comment is just like, come on, man. Like, but
don't buy into the Hoyer thing that much.
Look, we can read it, and whether we agree or not is a whole different story. But he also says if they were rebuilding, they would have kept Jarrett Stidham and brought in a top rookie. They didn't. They see it as a retool, which is how they sold Devontae. So what do you think about this?
Well, it was a retool last year, right? That's what we were told. Let's just not. I want to raise the awareness of Raider Nation too. That's another big aspect of why I always started this channel, was to bring realism to the nation. And I'm not going to hide and say it. Look, this is a rebuild. You got rid of your franchise quarterback for the last 10 years. You move on from a top 5 weapon in Devontae Adams. You have absolutely nobody on defense outside of the man Max Crosby over here, right? You bring in a Jimmy Garoppolo, who, let's be honest, it's not like he's a top 10 quarterback in the league. So just because you bring in a Jimmy Garoppolo, if I'm Dave Ziegler, if I'm Josh McDaniels, if I'm Mark Davis, if there's a rookie quarterback, then I'm going to say, hey, that's the future of the Raiders. He has Raider written all over him. That's who I want to build our future around. Jimmy Garoppolo's essentially 3 one-year deals. That's not going to stop me from going out there and getting a 20-year-old quarterback. Mm-hmm. It's just not, regardless of Brian Hoyer, regardless of Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, bringing in Devontae Adams, did that stop them from going out and getting a slew of wide receivers? No, they continue to add to that room. So if you did it to the wide receiver room building around Devontae Adams, Jimmy Garoppolo does not move the needle that much for me. I expect them to still continue to add to that room. It's a rebuild.
And I will say this, though, that Jimmy G contract is a 2-year deal at the very least. Because I believe if they cut him after year 1,
it's about $7 million in dead cap.
No, I seen 18 mil.
Oh,
I'll look this up. Jimmy G.
Yeah, I don't think it's
contract.
Yeah, I don't think it's that high. And shout out to OG. I know OG's in the building. I know it's his birthday, so happy belated birthday to you, brother.
Happy birthday, OG, man. Easter weekend, man. Salute to you, man. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I believe it's like $8 million dead cap if you get rid of him, and it might have to be the post June 1st cut too. There's a few little. There's some digging.
Okay, so this is the contract first year.
Okay,
11 mil. Base salary, you got this signing bonus, but let's look. All right, the cap hit is going to be 16 mil. Obviously, if they cut him after training or this year, like that's not going to happen. But 33 mil, that's a lot, right? But obviously, they're not going to do that. 2024. So if they cut him after this season, look at the cap hit right here.
18-7.
Yeah, that's what I seen right there. I seen the 18.
Yeah, see, that wasn't what I heard upon earlier, but
Yeah, it's crazy. As time goes on, the real numbers come out, but
they'll start to really trickle out.
right. But then you'll see. Look, after the 2024 season, they can actually get rid of him with only a 3.7 mil cap hit.
Which I mean, if you take a rookie, let's just use Anthony as an example. Are you okay with carrying? Are you okay with carrying a base salary? Let's look. What is his salary though? If next season 11.25, he's got a 13. Okay, the roster bonus is where
So
they get
this is
him.
how he's going to get paid out. Like this is his base
Okay,
salary.
that's where it is. That's
But
where it
then
is the
the
roster bonus.
The cap hit is where you should pay attention to. Like as far as like if they were going to build a team and sign other players and stuff like that. And this is his cap hit year 1, year 2. He gets a little increase, a little bump, and obviously they can get out this contract after year 2 in that contract. So that makes me think like, 2-year deal. That gives them a little bit more flexibility. They really don't have to take a QB in the first round based off like this contract.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, they could go in the first round next year.
Exactly. So I'm thinking based off how they signed his contract, like, are they really gonna do? Because it's a 2-year deal. Like, who knows? Who knows? I mean,
But here's the
don't
thing:
know.
like, why create all this smoke and controversy around? I mean, you're at 7. You're not in the top 3. You're not in the top 5 even, and you're creating all this smoke around the quarterback position, and you're picking at 7. So it's like, to me, and also sitting at 7, you're going to really only have to. You're only going to be able to take probably a defensive back, and taking the best defensive back at 7 is still a gamble.
Mhm.
I mean, that's not a guarantee, specifically with how the front 7 is built right now. I mean, I love Devon Witherspoon, but if you go grab Devon Witherspoon at 7 and you have no plan to fix that front 7, yeah, you're throwing some talent to the defensive side of the football, but it might not look that good year 1.
Well, to be honest with you, let me take away that tab. But to be honest with you, the best move, I'm kind of leaning towards a trade back.
Yeah,
That might be the
it's
best
not a
move, 'cause
quarterback.
you
I want
look
to
at this
trade back.
team, it's.
Yeah.
I know you can't. And Dave Z brought this up, and this is true, 100% true. You can't fill all the holes in one off season. You know what I mean? They're only going to be able to fill only a certain amount of positions on the team. I'm thinking, but at the same time, I'm like, man, if you can trade back from like, 7 and still be in the top 10, maybe a little bit outside of the top 10.
7 to 12. That's what I'm thinking. Like, if I can get down to the 12 range, I still think you can get a good DB or good defensive player, but you can add capital. So, yeah, if one of these quarterbacks is your guy and you're going to go make the move, go make that move by all means and go get whoever it is. But if you're not going to take a quarterback and you're sitting there at 7, yeah, I would agree with you. I think trade back is definitely the way to go.
Man, and on top of that, you'll be able to you'll have a real shot of kind of getting impact players at different levels of the defense, whether that's the front 7, the secondary, linebacker, D line. There's an opportunity there if they're able to get get an extra second round pick. That makes a huge difference. Get an extra.
I know. If you can get a second, even if you get thirds.
Yeah. And we'll do, and you know what? We'll do a mock draft, and hopefully we'll get some trades, and we'll try to play it out so you guys can see the possibilities. Because I was looking at it, I'm like, trading back might be the right answer, especially if we want to rebuild that defense. I mean, it's not going to be rebuilt all in one offseason, but it gives them a good shot at, for the future at least. But let me go back to the article because there's some good information in this article. So where we're here, this executive is saying, with the contract with Jimmy G, they're probably not going to go high with the QB. All right, that's his opinion. But I didn't agree with the Brian Hoyer thing. Oh, bringing in Brian Hoyer shows real injury concern. Brian Hoyer's not going to.
No.
That's not a guy
that even nail a rookie quarterback. Say you get a DTR in the 3rd round or something, he might make a case to. You might not even see much of Brian Hoyer. He might not even really be on the roster. So we'll see.
I think his value is just really knowing the offense. But
yeah, he's another coach. That's it. He's there to relate with the quarterback.
Because if he has to start a game, I don't, man.
No, Raiders lose. Let's be honest.
Man, the
We don't
ceiling
want
on
to be
him
Hoyer.
winning, like I don't know, man. But look, Hondo brought up something that I read too, but I didn't really look into it that much because I didn't think that there was any like crazy intentions by it. But he had his thoughts on this, and he says, but one thing happened at the NFL owners meeting that stunned me. Mark Davis told my colleague and friend Vic Tafer from The Athletic, Dave is young and never been in this position before. It takes time to learn all the tricks of the trade. I think people he confides in might not be giving him the full picture because it's so damn competitive. And he shows the original tweet. It's also in his article. Y'all should check it out. And Hundo, shout out to Hundo Carpenter. He does something really cool. He says, when a close friend of mine told me about it, I was stunned. I immediately sent that quote out to people from 4 different teams, and this is what I got. All right, so team number 1, I showed that to our owner, and that was a low blow. Way to throw your new GM under the bus. I don't think he meant it that way, but with an angry fan base, for sure, angry fan base, you can't just say that. Fact. And then team number 2. So when he sent it to his friend from team number 2, Dave will never admit this, but that had to hurt. No way Mark meant it that way, but it sure came off as bad. And team number 3 said, clueless. Man, that's crazy. And then team number 4 says, ouch. What owner would do that to his guy when he still works for him? That's, But look, he also, and this one kind of scared me a little bit. You know what I mean? These are I hope this is not 100% true. But he also says another team official, when speaking of Mark Davis and the Raiders, said, this team got stunned when Tom Brady retired. Now, I think the Raiders will have an excellent draft with Dave Z and Josh McDaniels, but don't pretend Mark Davis' fingerprints weren't all over the Derek Carr mess. And the hunt for Brady. Okay. And then one agent told me, I heard that in the Derek Carr negotiations on his way out, Ziegler repeatedly had to say he had to talk to Mark Davis more than once. Now, I wasn't a part of it, and perhaps it was Dave negotiating, but I was told Mark Davis was all over it. So what are your thoughts on what I just read?
Well, I mean, who is the co-owner?
Let's start with like these comments from these representatives from these teams.
Okay, so starting with Mark Davis's open comments about Dave Ziegler, I don't think he meant it in a derogatory statement. I think Mark Davis struggles sometimes to articulate his mind and doesn't understand how he says things, how they will be portrayed when the media gets a hold of it. So to leave a report say clueless that an organization, you never want to see that, never. But I mean, we kind of see what Mark Davis is at this point. So really, to me, Pharoah, it's no surprise. When I would hear an owner talk like this, I probably would be along the same lines as clueless. You just don't openly articulate things like that. Yeah. You got to make sure that you have the back of these guys. But yeah, Dave Ziegler is young. So there is some truth in what Mark said. I mean, Dave is young. This is his first time really settling down into a GM role. I know he had a draft out there in New England, but it wasn't necessarily he was the bona fide GM. There were still some guys pulling some strings.
And in the same article, because there's a lot of information in here, and we're just trying to go over some of the things that caught a lot of our eye, but there's so much information to cover. But there are some good things about what people felt about Dave Z as well. And and it's right here says one NFL member of team management told me something about Ziegler. The Patriots, if you look in the first round, aren't great drafters. I was told by someone in New England that Ziegler would be frustrated at times by their picks. He thinks differently. Raider Nation needs to trust Ziegler. He gets it. He thinks like a young Ron Wolf.
That was the biggest statement of this entire article for me.
That's high praise. That's high praise.
This is a show alone right here. That's a show alone. Like that last closing statement where it says he thinks like a young Ron Wolf. That is big.
And you've heard Raider Ray say that, he's not as big on McDaniels as much as he is on Ziegler. Yeah. So with me, Ziegler, I just need to see it. This whole regime, the coaching staff, the front office, I just need to see it. I need them to show me if they can have a great draft, because when's the last time we've had a great draft?
Yeah. I think honestly, this is. I think Dave is going to knock this out of the park. I have this subtle confidence. I'm not going to say he's going to hit on every pick. That's not realistic at all. But what he's going to do is he's going to make sure that this draft, he's going to turn over every single rock. He's going to dive deep for talent. He's going to look at guys that maybe not everybody else is going to look at. And he's going to take his shots. He's going to be aggressive. We've seen him aggressive in free agency last year. I expect him to be very aggressive in this draft to go out there and get the guys that he wants.
Right. And going back to what I read earlier, what concerns me. So what are your thoughts? Because I'm like, oh my God, hopefully this is not a Mark Davis that I want to see. I want the Mark Davis where he lets his guys do their job, but this doesn't sound like it based off.
Right. Is he one of those guys that comes out to the public and says, hey, I'm going to go hire football guys because I don't know football? Yet behind the scenes, what did we see throughout the season? What were those private meetings after every game?
Yep.
Where Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler were meeting with Mark Davis.
That's true.
You know, so is he giving a image to the media up front that says, hey, like maybe Mark doesn't want any type of blame? You know, he's seen the blame and scrutiny his dad got in the later years of his life. Is Mark like, hey, I don't want any blame. I'm going to hire people to do football stuff. But behind the scenes, you know, he could have his hands all over this thing. So, I mean, let's hope not, because I don't think he's a very high football IQ guy.
No, not at all, man. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to be a high football IQ guy compared to the GMs and the scouts that put in the work day in, day out. Like they go across country. They're literally, this is how they make a living. And yeah, like at the end of the day, that's smart to rely on guys who know more than what you know. You know, it's just and you know, and Mark Davis at the very least, he's a good businessman. He was able to bring the Raiders all the way to Vegas, and obviously make that move that you know Al Davis wanted to make. He never could. So, you know, we're not saying Mark Davis is a terrible owner. You know, I have my thoughts. I'm kind of concerned. I'm just hoping for the best, because when the owner is dysfunctional, nothing will work ever.
No. I honestly hope. I hope he takes his hands off the steering wheel, kind of gets in the passenger seat, and kind of let Dave Ziegler, I will say. I won't necessarily throw Josh McDaniels in there just yet, but I'll at least say let Champ Kelly and Dave Ziegler kind of take control of this organization and do what they have to do to make it right.
Right. But yeah, man, I just wanted to get into this article, and I just want to hear your thoughts, man. We're gonna get into the chat in a little bit, but look, let me take this out here. Stop sharing. Boom, we back. All right,
back.
Cool. All right, so another thing too that I wanted to get into, man, because there's a lot of things I want to talk about. Man, what's up with the Josh Jacobs not being signed? Well, a long-term deal. How long is that going to take?
This I think is a little bit bigger than just signing ink to paper. Anybody who's not subscribed to OG, go subscribe to OG. OG had a kind of birthday live stream, and a fellow friend of ours, Captain Jack, pulled up to the live. And, you know, we're not going to put 110% fact statement behind this, but he says he knows a guy in the building that says that Josh Jacobs might be gone by draft day. If that is the case, you know, guys like Hunter Renfrow, Josh Jacobs, these guys might really be on a trade block. So I don't know. You know, I don't necessarily know, but does a deal get done? I think it would be more towards summer that he would actually sign the franchise tag, but I don't know, man. I think there's a little bit of smoke around Josh Jacobs right now.
Yeah. And Chronicles of Black, salute to OG. He says we're still in demolition phase of the rebuild, man. I'm holding out hope, man. I hope they hit home runs in this upcoming draft. But
I'll say this: do you think at least Hunter Renfrow gets moved?
I think that could happen during the draft. You know, draft day trade. I could see that happening because they're not. I don't know, man. I think the way Hunter Renfrow likes to play, it's the opposite of what McDaniels wants.
Yeah.
You know, he wants freedom, and McDaniels is like, I want you to do it my way. You got to do it within the confines of his system. And you know, when we've heard Hunter Renfrow, have these sit down interviews and talk about how, like, you know, when he first came into the league and how he felt and how he was trying to do everything how the coaches wanted him to do, and it was a struggle for him. But then he had to figure out soon that, hey, if he didn't figure out like how he could stay in the NFL, like he'll be out real quick. And he got that freedom. He was able to flourish under John Gruden. But, you know, we'll see. It remains to be seen. You know, slot receivers usually they're successful with McDaniel. McDaniel's offense. So we'll give it some time. But hey, Waller got traded. Carr pretty much got traded, released. He was released. You're seeing a lot of these Gruden, Mike Mayock guys slowly but surely.
Who's left? Who's left after? I mean, obviously you got Trayvon Merrick. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. Max Crosby. So you get rid of Hunter and at least offensively, Gruden's guys offensively. I mean, what, Colton stays? Colton and Andre James? Would that be it?
And even that article, it touches on, you know, not to just go back to it, but it touches on how, you know, like that Trent Sieg release wasn't really about him as a player, like just him, just like as what he does in a football field, but he was a glue guy in that locker room, and it appeared that he was doing everything that they wanted him to do. So when you cut a guy like that, it sends a weird message to the locker room, like, why are you cutting this guy? Like, what was the point of that?
Yeah.
And you know, hopefully, you know, it's not a sign for things to come, but I think at the end of the day, you know, they're going to do it their own way. You know, McDaniels and Dave Z, like, they are going to do it their own way. They don't care about what other people have to think about their decisions on the team. But as far as Josh Jacobs, man, I don't know, man. Like, if they trade him, you know what I mean? Do you see him getting traded?
I mean, he hasn't necessarily signed the tag, so I don't think it has to be the 2 first rounders. And I, you know how I kind of feel about this. I'm a big Josh Jacobs guy, but at the same time, I kind of talked about this leading up to the season, that Josh Jacobs is going to benefit mightily from this scheme, specifically playing power football. I just think it simplified things, allows his vision to really open up. I feel like what we seen with Josh Jacobs last year, that was the ceiling of his performance. I don't think we'll ever see 1,600 yards again. With that being said, I think this was a blend of a good player and a good situation and a good scheme. So can I see the Raiders move the football with a lesser running back, paying him far less? Maybe obviously not 1,600 yards worth of production. No, I don't see somebody coming in and putting up 1,600 yards like Josh did. He has elite vision, the ability to break tackles, et cetera, et cetera. But I still think you can plug a guy behind this offensive line, behind this scheme and play calling, and still get production and move the ball efficiently. So to say he's going to get moved, I mean, if somebody calls you and offers you a 2nd-round draft pick for Josh Jacobs with where the Raiders roster is right now, it's going to be hard to say no to not take a second.
And we're going to, you know, open up the lines because we want to hear from y'all, man. We definitely want to hear from y'all. Give me just a second so I can set this up. I'm going to put up a comment for you to address in the chat. I appreciate everybody leaving comments in the chat. I'm going to get to them. You guys are going faster than I can even keep up. But let me see if I could address
right here. And just to kind of reiterate back to that, like I think
I'll be right
I
back.
don't say these things because I don't think Josh Jacobs is a good player. I'm big on Josh Jacobs. I love Josh Jacobs, but when I bring you guys takes like this, there's an ability for me now that I've been covering the team to separate my emotions from player to realism to where the roster is, and I wasn't able to do that before. I was very, very fan focused on the player, on the talent. Do everything you can to retain that player. Don't let him walk. But there's so much that goes into building a roster, and I start to get that. And so none of this is any type of shade against Josh Jacobs. He's worthy of every single penny that he's about to get paid. He deserves it. He earns it. I don't know. Really, right now, it's I don't know with the Raiders situation.
Also, to give y'all a friendly reminder, hold on, let me make that a little bit louder. Hey, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also hit that notification bell so you guys will know exactly when we go live, when we drop content. And also make sure to hit up Ray's channel as well. Like, we do a weekly show, and we switch off. So this week's on my channel. You know, next week is going to be on his channel. So you want to make sure you subscribe to both channels and hit that like button, because that algorithm is very real, man. It's very important for y'all to do that. If y'all can do that, just to hit that like button, man. It's just very simple, man. So I appreciate everybody pulling up. But let me get to this comment right here. Port Adelaide Raider says, salute Pharoah, salute Ray, salute to the chat. Appreciate you coming through. He says, I say O-line is the top 10, top 12 right now. but I want an upgrade at right guard. Don't like Alex Bars. Natane Moody could be, but I would like to draft Cody Mach, North Dakota State. How do you feel about this?
No, I think that you nailed it, Poor. We talked about it on our last live draft. I let you guys know that, hey, don't expect, say the Raiders took a quarterback at 3 or 7, whatever it is. Don't just think that all those 11 draft picks are going to be defense. We've heard it all off season. Content creators, sports media, all over my IG. Oh, we're going to take 11 defensive players, and that's not where the Raiders roster is. We do have an interesting stat that Josh McDaniels has always taken an offensive lineman in the third and fourth round. We've seen that last year with Dylan Parham. I think the guard position is somewhere that needs to be addressed. So I would agree with you. I do like Cody. I think that would be a great guard to get. And I'm of the belief I want to add to this the interior.
I got OG on the line. I'm about to put him through.
Oh, okay. Yeah, put him on. But yeah, to sum it up, I want a guard. I want a guard as well.
Oh man, OG man, if you can call back. We just had you on the line, man. If you can call back. But let me get back to here. Let's see. Holly, if y'all want to hit up Pharoah for anything, IG. Hey, I appreciate you, Holly. I appreciate you. You are the best, one of my favorite mods. Appreciate you holding it down for me. And she just had, hey, go ahead and just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. The road to 3K continues.
Hit that like button.
And then also look at follow Raider Ray, his channel right there. She's making it easy for y'all to go ahead and subscribe to our channel. I love that about Holly. She's always really cool and helping us out there in the chat. ONT6 says that's our backup QB. Facts. All right, we got OG back. All right, let's see.
Call from
OG.
OG in the building. What's going on? Let me give you a proper entrance. Hey,
there you go.
OG,
that's
man.
better.
Are you there? Are you with us?
Mentally, or yeah.
What's going on, OG, man? How you feeling today, man? Happy birthday, by the way. Happy birthday.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm just getting older and rotting apart. But nah, I'm giving you a call because I miss talking to you guys. Dude, I am so unsure this year about our team.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, I had the bar raised so high, and this year I took the bar down, I dug a hole and buried it because it's that bad. We're picking up has-beens and scraps from the Ratriots, and everybody's like, oh, we're going to do this in the draft. Well, yeah, great, but if you need 2 to 3 years and you already had a year and didn't do anything, come on. McDoofus, nah, man, I don't trust these guys anymore.
It is a year. To be fair, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I understand your frustrations with the team and McDaniels and everything that happened last year. I'm with you 100%. I'm a fan of the team, but McDaniels, he has a lot to prove. I'm with you. And Dave Z, I'm a little more confident in, and I know Ray could speak to this as well. A little more confident with Dave Z because I feel like he's a guy that gets it, but obviously he needs to execute. He says all the right things, but can he back it up? He has 12 picks in this upcoming draft, a big draft.
I'm not even worried about Dave Z. Okay, I'm sure he'll be all right. Mm-hmm. But McDoofus, I got a problem. Okay, I don't want him doing to us what he did for the Donkeys. Okay, this guy it can single-handedly destroy a team. All right, we just got rid of Jay Cutler, and now we're going to bring in Team Tebow. That kind of thing. Do you not see a pattern here?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're not a fan of the quarterback out of Florida, Anthony Richardson?
The last guy who got on his knees and threw a long pass in draft, he got up the first draft and got
Man,
don't disrespect him, OG. Please,
man,
don't.
I think
if we get him and he shows up to camp weighing 300 pounds, guess what? We got a problem.
You know what? Hey, the Jamarcus Russell situation, and we could talk about that situation all day, but I just felt like it was just worst case scenario. The player, a bad fit as a player, and to come to a Raiders team that really didn't have structure.
Mm.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because if you
Yeah.
heard, because I don't know if you've heard, if you've seen the
love Al
interviews.
Davis, I love Al Davis, but at the end he was losing it. You know,
Yeah,
the more
sure.
he started looking like the crypt keeper, and then and just making bad decision after bad decision, that hurt us for 20 years, man.
Yeah. Facts, man.
To be fair, I don't think Richardson and Russell are. I don't think they're the same player at all. I get your concern with Josh McDaniels, OG. I do. I would say, and I think you're in this boat already. So I think that you trust Dave Z far more than what you trust Josh McDaniels. But as long as Josh McDaniels is labeled the head coach of this team, there's a big question mark around the Raiders organization and his ability to lead them to where we're trying to go. So, look, I agree with you. I don't think Josh McDaniels is
Dave Z. I didn't say trust Dave Z. I think he'll be better than what we had because John Gruden was not good at those first 3 rounds of picks and then giving Mayock the scraps later. I'm saying that there was another guy, Raider Critique, who said I trust Josh McDaniels like 1-ply toilet paper, and I thought he won the internet that day because that's where I'm at with that. This is not a good coach. I'm sorry. I think he pulled a lot of politics. I think he pulled a lot of crap. You know, the Raiders are rated high for everything from the players' point of view on everything except for the coaching. And I don't know if you guys saw that report, but I do not trust Josh McDaniels. I think he better, if it ain't a Patriot, he can't work with it. And that's a problem. That is a huge problem. If they can play within his system, he can't trust them. Now, on the other hand, I do have a optimistic side. Let's say bringing up players who understand the system because the system's super complicated, and that helps other players learn it. Then maybe we have a strategy. But otherwise, if we don't, let me tell you something. You take a playoff team and you do what you did to this team last year, I ain't trusting you until we're in the playoffs again.
That's a fair point. It's a fair point.
But do you get a feeling though that, I mean, okay, say that season happened 10 times over. Do you think that the Raiders actually make that? Like, I kind of feel like that season was a little bit of an anomaly. Like, I feel like the ball rolled to the Raiders' favor quite a bit that season. It was a very special season, a very emotional season. But do you think that team, the roster, the talent, the coaching, if it had to be done 10 times over again, do you really think that Raiders team was a 10-7 playoff team?
Well, we had a team that would run through a wall for a really good coach like Rich Bisaccia. They should have gave him a chance. But Mark Davis got to get that bright, shiny thing, and he screwed up. Okay? Mark Davis is not a great decision maker. Okay? He is not a young Al by no means. Okay? You know, sell the team to Jeff Bezos or something because this is like Mark doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Carol Davis should sell the team. She owns it. Mark doesn't own anything. He just runs it right now. Now, when she drops, he'll own it. Just sell the team. Get rid of Mark. Mark's a problem. Okay? And look, I got to explain something to you. I've been sitting around this whole weekend, well, today and yesterday, watching the Raiders' 1976 season, the 1980 season, the 1983 season, 83 season. And you know what I watched?
Dedicated.
Commitment to excellence. Just win, baby.
I got you, OG. Hold on one second.
Just win, baby.
That doesn't exist in our culture anymore. It does not exist in this team's culture anymore. Okay? We don't win. Look, I watched the games back when I was a kid when we're down by 20 to Pittsburgh and come back and kill them. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen anymore. That kind of fight doesn't exist with the Raiders anymore. I'm sorry, man. Our team's culture has been invaded by the Patriots culture. I don't like this. I said it was a corporate takeover when they first started, and it's still the same. I feel like I should have went with my initial gut, but no, I trusted these clowns and thought, oh yeah, okay, we're gonna do great things. I was devastated what these guys did to this team, to my team. Our team's culture. When was the first or last time you ever heard Josh McDaniels say, just win, baby? or commitment to excellence. He won't say that. You know why? He's bringing in his culture. He doesn't care about our culture. He doesn't care about the fans for sure.
Man, that's shots fired right there. He's calling out Josh McDaniels. He's saying he's not the guy. OG, we got some other callers who want to call in. I think we have someone call in, but I want to hear. Can you let Raider Nation know your thoughts on where they should go in the draft? First round, should they trade back? Should they pick a defensive player, number 7? Should they draft a QB? What do you think the Raiders should do in the upcoming draft in the first round?
I think the Raiders, Dave Ziegler should do what Dave Ziegler is going to do, which is probably going to shock everyone and make them scratch their heads. And when he's wrong, I'm going to drag him. If he's right, I'll praise him. That's what I think we should do. Am I trained to be a general manager? No. Do I know scouting? No. I don't know that. That's above my pay grade.
Right.
All I'm saying is, if he does good, great, praise him. If he does bad, I'm going to drag him every week.
Hey, it's fair, man. He has a lot to prove because he hasn't shown anything as a head coach. As a head coach in the NFL, he hasn't shown.
He's given our team 1 year. I've given this team 50 years, a half a century. I have the right to drag him.
And that's why you're OG. OG. Hey, but I appreciate you calling it. Happy birthday, by the way, man. Once again, man. Hey,
happy birthday.
OG, you were like one of the first people that actually told me about Raider Ray. So salute to you and Jack Kenna.
My friend Jack Kenna, who wanted to introduce you guys. It was his idea. He's a good guy. He obviously knows what he's talking about because you guys got a great show. Ray, love you, brother.
I love you, brother.
Forever.
Appreciate it, OG. All right, so we got to take another call, OG, man. You have a good one.
Happy Easter, OG.
Chat and talk trash.
All good, man. Talk to you soon, bro.
I heard the phone line ringing.
T Severe in the building, man. Hey, appreciate you calling in. What's going on? Let me give you a little chat, man. I'm gonna make this should we make this a ritual when Raider fans call in?
There we go.
We gonna give them the Raider chat, man. But appreciate you calling in, man. What's on your mind?
Man, so a lot, man. I just want to touch on some of the things you guys been talking about, man. First thing I want to say is that look, I respect my elders. I just want to say that. I just want to preface that. I want to say I respect my elders, but I think fans like Raider OG, their sentiment, I think, is the problem with the Raiders. What did Al Davis say? Where is the greatness of the Raiders? The greatness of the Raiders is in its future, not in its past. Okay. Not in its past. And I think we keep reaching back to these ghosts. The Raiders, NFL free agency started, I want to say, in 1993. I think 93, I think we went to the playoffs that year. I think we got blown out by the Bills, and then we went a long time without having success. Until we had Gruden, we had a very short period of success, then went a long time again without having success.
Right.
So in the free agency area, we haven't been a good team. We have to do things differently.
Right.
We have to do things differently. We keep worrying about, I don't want this to be Patriots West. Josh McDaniels has 5 rings. If Patriots West brings us 5 rings, I don't care what you call it. I call it winning. That's all I care about. I don't care who we borrowed it from, where we got it from. I don't care if we borrowed it from Eric Coryell. I don't care if we bought it from the West Coast offense with Walsh. I don't care how we get it. As long as we get it and we sustain it. That's all I want. And another thing, man, I think fans have this idea of Mark Davis that I think is totally wrong. This team was in the dark ages. Now, as a football team, we haven't really made the progress that we wanted to. But as a football organization, we are light years ahead of where we were. In Al Davis's twilight years, he was still signing paper checks and giving them to players.
Yeah.
This is in the 2000s.
Yep.
This is in the 2000s. I'm a dude from LA. I've been to Oco Stadium. That is the worst stadium I've ever been to. And I've been to high school stadiums. Man. The whole stadium smelled like urine.
The bathrooms were terrible.
Bro, they didn't even have like some spots. I don't think that was like a urinal. It was just like a metal trough. and you just stand there and it's like dudes like pissing right next to you. Like it was horrible, man. It was horrible. We tried to make it. He tried his damnedest to make it work in Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
They refused to budge. Even before that, they were trying to do stuff in Arundel. They wanted to do the best they could to make sure we kept this team up there. They didn't do it, and then we had to deal to move to LA. Jerry Jones helped kill that, and then we had to deal to move to Vegas, and we got a sweetheart deal where I don't think we were paying like really any rent on the team. We bought the land for our facility in Henderson,
mm-hmm.
and then we sold it for 30 times its value, and then released it back, and made like $191 million off that deal. Like, we have the guy just talked about that NFOPA survey. We had the highest ratings in terms of our facilities and our training staff, and that was all because of Mark Davis. We had the worst facilities in the NFL by leaps and bounds before Mark Davis. So, and in terms of an owner, Mark Davis is the kind of guy I want as an owner. He's not a guy that is in it for the money. This isn't some play thing for him. He's a guy that is passionate about this team.
He's in it for the money. Come on, he's in it for the money.
He's got a minivan and PF Chang's. I don't know, Pharoah.
Yeah, I think, but I will say in terms of he is not self-made rich, right? He is rich from the Raiders. So at some point there was going to be some aspect of him, right? This team has to turn profit. But at the end of the day, he's not a guy. He's not these guys that's using the team as a tax write-off, and he doesn't care if they win or if they lose. Like, he is all in, making sure they win. And I don't feel a lot of owners are like that. As far as I know, he is a guy that allows his staff and his coaches to do what they need to do, right? I think he intervened twice. I think he intervened when he hired Jack Del Rio, and then we had some success. And then he intervened, and he got Jack Del Rio. Then he fired Jack Del Rio, and of course he gave the keys to Gruden, right? And he let Gruden run the show, and then that was an epic failure. And now he's letting Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler run the show.
And there's
talk about go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, there is some dysfunction with the Raiders organization that's been there even with Mark Davis. I mean, even think about how Jack Del Rio left the Raiders. He had to announce his own firing just because just because Mark Davis was so excited about getting John Gruden. He literally just like, hey, go ahead and just announce. You know what I mean? There's been weird stuff, and then he comfortably handed John Gruden a 10-year contract. It's like he wants to just find someone that he feels like is talented and just like, all right, you take care of it. I don't want to think about it. You know what you're doing. So it's kind of like, I don't know, man. Like, there's a little bit, and then before, I don't know if you were, I don't know when you start tuning in, but we went over like a little bit of the Hondo Carpenter article, and there were some comments made about, and I've heard rumors about how like Mark Davis, there's some issues with how he didn't really like Derek Carr as a quarterback, which is fine, but it was almost like, why didn't you get rid of him a long time ago? Like it's like the way the reports are kind of made out.
So perfect example is that he had an opportunity to bring in Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, and who vetoed it? His head coach. So he could have strong-armed Gruden and say, you know what? No, this is what we're doing. But he allowed the current regime, the people who was in charge of player personnel, to dictate how the team was constructed. And it just so happens that Tom Brady went to another team and won the Super Bowl that year. Would that have happened with us? Probably not. But, he was still talented enough to go out and win another Super Bowl. So instead of strong-arming the people who were in charge of player personnel at that time, he let them make that decision. So I think that's indicative of the type of owner that he is. Another thing is that we talk about like, the coaches meet with him and they consult with him. That happens anytime you make a huge decision. And no matter what we thought of Derek Carr, getting rid of Derek Carr is a huge decision. That is something you talk to the guy that signs the checks for the most expensive player on the team about. You don't make that move without consulting him and keeping him in on the loop. Because if you make that move and he didn't know about it, then you're going to have issues, right? So anytime you do something like that, like if you're in a marriage, if anybody's married, before you go out and you go buy a new car, you're like, hey, honey, I'm gonna go out. This is what I'm thinking about, getting this new car. This is about how much it's gonna cost us. Yada yada yada. You consult with your wife, even if you're making the decision. You still consult with her because she knows that it's a partnership, and the most important partnerships in the NFL are between head coach and quarterback, head coach, GM, and owner. Right? Those are the most important. Those are most important partnerships. So you got to keep the owner in that loop. So I mean, I have no problem with him being looped in because I think that is necessary, especially when you make a decision of that magnitude.
T Severe, man.
I'm sorry. I'm holding y'all up, man.
No, it's all good, man. Hey,
good,
every time you call in, you're always spitting facts, man. I appreciate your support. Appreciate you calling in. We want to get along with the show because we're gonna get into a mock draft, and hopefully you're gonna be a part of it. Hopefully you'll be in there in the chat, or even call in while we're making the picks as well. But we always ask this question. Up until the draft comes here, what do you see? Because I don't know. Ray doesn't know 100%. And no one really knows. But where do you see the Raiders doing in the first round of the 2023?
After the report of Jalen Carter, of them taking Jalen Carter off the board, I think Ray talked about this before. That was my pick. If we can't get Stroud, I don't think we're going to be able to get Richardson. Those are the two primary quarterbacks I want. The next player was Jalen Carter. If we can get Devin Witherspoon, or if we can get Christian Gonzalez, I'll be okay with that. Or if we can trade back and just add depth to the team, and pick up a pass rusher in the mid rounds. There's a cornerback I like in the second round, Julius Brent. Or get a guy like Hendon Hooker in the later rounds. And just work on other aspects of the team. But I'm a Stroud guy. I'm an AR-15 guy. If we can't get those guys, man, it's trade back to go defense.
Okay. No, you know what? Hey, look, I agree with you 100%. I feel like, taking the best defensive player on the board makes a lot of sense. But I'm not going to lie, man. If we can get a trade partner that's within that top 10 or right outside that top 10, hey, man, get another second round pick. It would be a major difference as far as drafting the players that we want. Because there's going to be a lot of good players in that second round. A lot of good players. But
agreed.
But T Severe, man, I appreciate you calling in, man. We want to get into this mock draft, man, and also, there's other callers that wanted to call in as well. But I appreciate you calling in, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it. That was a great call. Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good one. Man, T Severe, man, always has fire calls, man. OG, salute to OG. And I know someone else called in. You weren't able to get in, but hey, man, hopefully you can call back as well. But man, we had some fire calls. We all usually have fire calls, man. It's the usual.
I love the people that tune into our chat, man. You could tell that they think about this team deeply. It's just not, throwing whatever to the wall and seeing if it sticks. They've got an opinion, and I love to see them voice it.
Right, and then you know what? On that note, we're gonna get into. Hold on, let's see if I could find this. Let's see. We're gonna get into the mock drafts. Where is the mock draft? I thought I had set it up. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna set this up. I'm gonna put up a comment here. Black Sales Sports Talk, man. I appreciate you coming through. He says, "I'll be shocked if they trade Jacobs. It doesn't make any sense." Yeah, man. I want us to sign Jacobs, but at the end of the day, he is playing that running back position, man. It's so devalued these days, man. You never know, especially with Josh McDaniels and Dave Z coming from the Patriots. They're gonna do what they want.
I would say this: does it also make sense to pay him $16 million a year next year?
I don't agree with that either.
I don't know. That's a tough situation. And if you look at Tony Pollard getting franchise tag, there's a lot of guys that didn't get extended at the running back position this year. So
yeah,
I don't know. This is just going to be one of those situations we're going to have to ride out and let play. So this one's tough.
All right. So do you guys?
I'm excited for this mock draft, though. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let me make sure. Do you want to? You said let's do 5 rounds. Let's do 5 rounds slow, so we can do some trades.
You want to do slow or normal?
Normal's still pretty fast. I've done it before.
Okay, so you want to do slow? Okay.
It's not like it's not super slow. We'll be
Okay.
good.
So and then we can control it, right? Like they'll like let's see how it works out. But look, so let me pick the Raiders. All right. Hopefully you guys can see it. If y'all can't see it, please let me know in the chat, man. Hey, I appreciate everybody coming in the chat, man. I'm gonna get to y'all in a second, man. We just are so excited to talk Raider football and then to get into this draft. All right. So first pick, can you guys see it? Can you see it?
All right, pause at 3. Pause it if you can in time.
Okay.
Okay, they took it.
All right. So first 3 picks: C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Anderson. So I think this is gonna be this pick is gonna be traded, but this is a mock draft. There's a chance that they just stay put.
Yeah,
And get
I was gonna sit at 3 and make the decision. Hey, do we move up here in
Mm.
this mock draft? Would you have moved up, or are you comfortable with staying put right now?
Oh man, I would stay put. I would
Okay.
stay put.
Okay.
Stay
So
put.
in this situation, guys, we're gonna stay put, and we're gonna let this ride out to 7 and see who falls to us, and then we're gonna negotiate. We're gonna open up the phone line too as well. If you can drop that number down there on the ticker, Pharaoh. We're gonna be sitting at round 1, and we're gonna talk about options: staying put, who's on the board, and maybe a possible trade back. So if you guys have an opinion, maybe there's a player in specific that's on the board that you want, let us know.
All right, so
All
let
right.
me get back to. So I'm gonna press play. See how this plays out. All right. All right. So C.J. Stroud. Okay. What? Well,
Will
whew,
Levis.
man. Okay.
Okay.
Miles
Mark
Murphy.
Murphy.
Man.
Tyree Wilson. Wow. Hey, Houston
So
came up to 6. They traded with Detroit. So they traded their later first round pick and moved up and took Tyree Wilson at 6 overall. That's interesting.
usually you don't see trade ups for defensive players. It's usually for a quarterback, especially this high in the draft. And then we got 2 trade offers. So let me make this bigger. I want y'all to see this. I don't miss out. So we have 2 trade offers. The Jets, hey, like I said, right outside the top 10, pick number 13 and pick number 42. So which is a second round pick. They want us to trade. I think that might be a 5th rounder. I think we have like a few 5th rounders. That might be a 5th rounder right there.
That's a 5th.
And our number 7 pick.
Mhm.
So that's the Jets. Whoo! Man.
Okay. Hey.
So we know who's on the board right now. We know who's on the board, and let me see if I could move.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie.
Move it right
I'm
now.
I'm okay with rolling the dice here, and I think if the Falcons, let's talk about who the Falcons might take, because that's going to take a player off of our board here. I could see them come up and take an Anthony Richardson, but they've been kind of all in on Desmond Ridder this offseason. Or they could go out there and build that interior defensive line, maybe take a guy like Jalen Carter inside the top 10.
Mm-hmm. So you see Jalen Carter is still on the board. We got players. We got players on the board, man. We got Christian Gonzalez on the board. Anthony Richardson, obviously, is a guy that we want the Raiders to draft because we believe in the talent, the ceiling. It just seems like if they feel like he's a guy that they can coach up, man, the talent is limitless. But that being said, we just seen the trades. So in this draft, we've previously drafted Anthony Richardson. This is for us. We probably would have drafted Anthony Richardson. Some guys would have drafted Jalen Carter. But like we said earlier in the live, these trade offers are really enticing.
This is my opinion. I'm pulling the trigger on this trade. I'm moving back 1 spot and I'm adding another pick in the top 100. You know,
So look. They're actually asking for a 3rd round pick.
that's
So
okay.
that's our first pick in the 3rd round. So top 100 pick, our first pick in the 3rd round, for their 2nd rounder and pick number 8.
Now, before we do that,
And then obviously the Jets got pick 13, 2nd rounder 42, which is higher, I think, than what the Falcons 2nd rounder is, and they want us to give up our 5th rounder, which is doable because we have multiple 5th round picks. So I don't know. I'm looking at this. This is kind of looking a little bit more because I want that top 100 pick. I want that 3rd round pick.
Okay. So you're wanting the Jets pick.
Yeah. But I get it. It's top 10
pick 44. Isn't that still in the 2nd round?
Yeah, it's 2 picks.
And we have 2/3. We have 2/3. Remember, so we can give up a 3rd and still have a top 100 pick. Pick 100 is still a 3rd round pick. Okay. So we do have 2/3. So really, we're giving up a 3rd to come back up into the 2nd.
All right. So we're gonna do the trade, y'all. But in the chat, if you can give us a 1 for the Jets trade or a 2 for the Falcons trade. Man,
Me,
oh my
I'm
God, you
probably
guys
gonna
been
go to
coming like
Falcons
crazy.
because we only have to move down one. Pharaoh, are you going with the Jets?
Yeah, I'm going with I like the Jets overall.
Okay.
But
So I'm gonna go Falcons. Pharaoh's going Jets. Let us know down in the comment section below which trade are you accepting.
Larry says Falcons. T Severe says I like the Jets trade. You know, we don't give up too much 5th rounder. We have plenty of 5th rounders.
Okay, there's
We got a lot of people say so I said to the Falcons, right? To I forgot what I just did.
choose the Falcons.
Yeah, okay. So T Severe says he likes the Jets. So one for the Jets, 2 for the Falcons trade. We're gonna go with the trade, but we just want to make sure y'all involved. Let us know. Okay, Falcons trade. All right. Hey, overruled. You guys let me know immediately that you guys want that Falcons trade. We're gonna go ahead and accept it. Oh, let's see.
And in this situation, they might take Jalen Carter, and you still might get a quarterback fall to you and get a 2nd-round pick.
But you know what they're trying to do. You know what the Falcons are trying to do.
We'll see.
It just makes so much sense. I like the Falcons fit with the AR-15, but we'll see what they do.
We'll see here.
Okay, so let me go back.
Jalen Carter.
Woo!
The Raiders get a 2nd-round pick, and their quarterback still falls to them at 8.
Oh my God! Look, pick 9.
But
Hey.
that's a future 3rd, though. That's a future 3rd.
It's future 3rd.
Yeah, I think
you
we
guys
stay put here.
you just want me to accept it just so I want to know who they're gonna draft.
You okay? Hey, go ahead.
Should I just accept it just to see who they're gonna draft?
I guess go ahead if that's what
I'm
you
just
want
gonna
to do.
accept it. See who are they trying to draft? Okay.
If it put that makes sense.
Wow. Okay. And look.
Oh, I'm
hey,
not gonna lie. Hey,
Hey,
take
I'm gonna
that trade.
keep it coming.
Take
We
that
got 3
trade.
trade offers for pick number 9. So the first
It
trade
really,
offer,
guys, to be fair, we
Yeah.
only have inherited a 2nd-round pick. So the one prior to this, it was a future pick. We just wanted to see who the Bears were going to take. This, on the other hand, we move down 1 pick and we pick up another draft. So, in my opinion, if this was to be, I'm probably going to take this trade.
All right. So what they're offering us for this number 9 pick, which is pretty much the next pick, is number 10. We moved one spot in the pick number 62, which is that still in the 2nd round or is that 3rd round? Still early 3rd round. Definitely
still
top 100 pick.
That's still 2nd round.
That's
a late 2nd.
All right. That's one trade offer. The next trade offer. Pick 24, pick 56. No. Pick 12 and pick 55. So I already know what they're gonna do. I think they're gonna go after AR-15 for sure. I could see this.
No, yeah, we're not trading with Detroit because what I'm going to do is I'm going to trade with Philly and I'm going to take AR-15 at 10. That's exactly what's happening.
This is a crazy scenario that this is happening the first time we did the mock draft. We're going to do another one real quickly. We just wanted to see what the possibilities were if we actually traded back. So we're going to accept this trade. And just to give y'all a little idea who's available too as well, you can see AR-15 is top quarterback on the board. Gonzalez is still there. And obviously you see all that, Witherspoon, all these guys are still there. So I'm going to go ahead and accept this trade because this one makes a lot of sense.
That makes a ton of sense.
Makes a lot of sense. So who do they end up picking?
Bijan. Oh, Devin Witherspoon. I like that fit.
Witherspoon. Okay. Now, all right.
Hey, the trade line is on because they've seen we've traded back multiple times now.
So, and then how many offers do we have? We have 2 offers. So the Ravens pick 22, 86, pick 124, and a future 2nd round pick. Now that's too far off to me. I don't want to do that. And they put, okay, no, I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to actually pick a player here.
Yep.
And let's go to this draft board and then we'll see who we got. Let's see who we got.
Raiders are sitting at 10. They moved back 3 spots.
All right.
And we've gained 2 2nd-round draft picks by moving back 3 spots.
Exactly. So now we can get a young QB, which is this is like, man, this will never. I've never seen something like that happen. But if it were to happen, AR-15 on the board. We just picked up multiple 2nd-round picks. So now we can address the defense and some of these players because there are going to be a lot of good players in that 2nd round. So AR-15 looks like it would be a pick. I know some guys are not a big on AR-15. Christian Gonzalez is on the board, a guy that's number one on some people's board as number one cornerback in the draft. Some people have a Witherspoon. I can see why. And then, there's an O tackle. We're not going to draft running back this high, even though he's really talented, Bijan Robinson. And so where are you going with this pick? I already thought about it. You're going AR-15.
I think if you get to the 10 and you've got a quarterback like this on the board still, and you gain 2 second-round picks, this just justifies you going out there and getting him, because now you're able to really invest defensively. You're getting the big boomer bust potential of AR-15, and then we can go and address every single need that we need on this Raiders team. For me, go get the future superstar of your franchise, and then let's focus on the defense in second round.
And Kevin Lurker says Gonzalez or Branch, so he wants to go defense. Super Omicron says Gonzalez or and D-Take. Okay, all right. Well, hey, Cansey might be available with our second round picks.
Yeah,
and since we have multiple picks in the later rounds,
we can still trade up, you guys. You got to remember that we can still trade up.
We can trade up because we made this extra slow, so then we can make these trades. So you guys let us know in the chat. Christian Gonzalez, man, we got a lot of Christian Gonzalez fans. All right, let's see.
Oh, Avakazi, don't even do it. Don't do it.
He's talking some smack. All right. So here's the call-in number. If you guys want to call in and you want to make the pick live, you guys can go ahead and do that. But you know what? I'm feeling this is too good to pass up, man. This is too good.
What are you thinking? Pharoah?
AR-15, come on.
Yeah.
At first, I was thinking trade back, get defense, but then we traded back like 2 or 3 times and picked like 2 second-round picks. Come on, man.
We're sitting okay in the second round. We can come back up in the first if there's a player on the board.
Right. So Anthony Richardson goes number 10. Broderick Jones, top O tackle on the draft.
All right, let's pause at each pick for this first round just in case we want to move up, because we've lost 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. So we're sitting at 15. Let's see if there's anybody on the board that you just circle. Ooh. I will say this: if we did have this many seconds and Bijan Robinson is on the board in the second, I would take Bijan, especially if you're going to trade Josh Jacobs. If you trade Josh Jacobs, Bijan Robinson is a guy, but also his backup.
Shots fired over here. He's trying to trade Josh Jacobs.
You got to be ready. You got to be ready for every situation.
All right. So that's a possibility. You would take Bijan right now, or
no.
Or you mean trade up?
No, I'm saying if we wanted to, say Josh was to be moved, now you have some ammo. You can move up and go get a superstar for the next 5 years. So I'm just saying he's an option.
Got you. And then look. So who do you see anybody that you would like to trade up in the first round for?
Not right now.
Not right now?
I think I'm okay right now.
All right. Let's see. Let's get back to the draft
just kind
board.
See how the board falls.
All right. So
Jackson Smith and Jigba goes to 14 to the Patriots. Okay. Christian Gonzalez lands in the Packers. Not bad. Washington. Bijan.
Okay. Let me know if you want to pause.
Okay, I will. Keely Ringo. Okay, I like that fit in Detroit. I like that. Joey Porter. Okay. I kind of like how this board's falling. Jordan Addison. Okay.
We'll stop here. What's that? Quinn Johnson. So we'll look at the draft board just real quickly so we can have everybody follow along and see who's on the board. Brian Branch is top on the board. Lucas Van Ness, Cam Smith, Deontay Banks. So some cornerbacks. It's a cornerback every draft. Maybe we'd be able to trade up and maybe get into the first round.
Maybe get a tight end.
Top tight end on the board, Michael Mayer. I even like
Nolan Smith.
Darnell Washington. I'm big on him. You said Nolan Smith. That guy's a freak. He's undersized, but man, dude's a beast. He killed the combine as well.
We can kind of see towards the back end of the first if he's still on the board, but I kind of like how the board's falling for us in the second, because I think we could probably get 3 really good players in the second.
I'm saying, so let's see what happens. Let's keep it going. All right, so Quinn Johnson, wide receiver TCU.
I like that fit. I like that fit for Baltimore.
All right, top tight end on the board. He goes Dalton Kincaid.
Back-to-back tight end. Okay, back-to-back tight end.
All right, I already know another cornerback. Oh, Nolan Smith, your guy. Smith,
those are the Colts. Yannick Ngakoue's replacement.
Yep.
Brian Branch lands to the Buffalo Bills. I like that fit a lot.
Jalen Hyatt, another wide receiver with speed.
DeJuan Jones lands with the Bengals. I like that a lot. Okay, right. Anton Harrison lands with the Chiefs. They get their Orlando Brown.
So I'm gonna stop it here because now we're in the second round. This is where we could,
Let's target a top prospect that we're not going to fall to our lap at 38. So
And just
maybe I'm
just to
thinking
let
like
everybody, just to fill everybody in, because if someone's joining us right now, we just did a mock draft. We traded down. We had a few trade downs, and we were able to get 2 extra second round picks. So we got pick number 38, pick number 44, and I think we had another one, right?
Yep, we
Pick
do.
number 62,
62.
right there, bottom of the second. All right, so we have some ammunition if we wanted to trade up. So let's
Mhm.
go to the draft board real quick, and boom, this is where we at.
Oh, jeez.
So you got guys like Cansey still on the board, Darnell Washington. You got over here. His name is. I don't want to slaughter.
That's a good name. That's a good one.
It's a great name, man. But it's tough, man. It's tough.
That's a
It's
good
tough
one.
for me to pronounce. But also a good player, Drew Sanders. I know a lot of people like Drew Sanders. Big guy can run.
I like BJ Ojolari.
Yep.
He's
And then
good.
if what you're saying is true, let's say if the Raiders end up trading Josh Jacobs, hypothetically speaking, hopefully we're able to sign him. Then you got another running back right here. That's
Yeah,
talented.
and go to the running back board because I do want to hyper focus. I think he's probably the second best running back in the draft. Go down to there should be Tennessee's backup.
Tennessee's backup.
Yep. Unless he's already been taken, which I don't believe he was taken.
You said Tennessee's backup?
Tennessee's backup. It's Bijan Robinson's backup running back. And we've seen this before too, right? We've seen Mark Ingram. We've seen superstar running backs have good backups that go into the draft and they're special. So the fact that he's not even up here with these guys is a shame.
Yeah.
Roshan Johnson right there.
Roshan Johnson.
Texas, yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean Tennessee. I meant Texas. Roshan Johnson, there he is. Okay, that's a shame. That's a bunch of disrespect, but
I'm all the way down there.
Yeah, we could still get it. I mean, he's going to be a superstar at the next level. So if you guys don't know who he is, go look up Bijan Robinson's backup running back. He's going to be a superstar. He's going to be a stud, and he's coming out in this draft. So
you got Trent Simpson still on the board.
This is a guy I like.
Yeah, there's some good defensive players on the board. So would you trade up or are you staying put?
You know what? I might let the board fall. Let's ask the chat real quick. But chat, are you okay with sticking with 3 second-round draft picks and kind of sticking to our guns and taking best player available? Or is there somebody on the board that you're wanting to move up for?
All right, let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Man, you guys are going crazy over here. Richard Lyons. Let's see. All right, let it ride. Kevin Lurker says let it ride. Joel says trade up for Cansey. Holly's, hey man, she wants Cansey 100%. All right, so Falcons take Jalen Carter. Yeah, they did. They did in this draft. In this mock draft, they did. So, you know what? Let's let it ride. Let's let it ride.
Yeah, let's let it ride.
I agree because this is kind of fun. Like, all right, we have an opportunity to get some good players with these picks.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on 1 second.
I do like that pick for the Chiefs. I hate to say it, but I do.
All right, let's see. All right, so I'm gonna resume the draft. All right, Trent Simpson goes.
That was a good one.
Gibbs goes to Cardinals.
Okay.
Darnell White.
That's a good pick.
Man, Edge go. Okay.
The pick right before us.
Man.
That's tough. That one hurts.
And would you do this trade? The fact that we have, 3 first-round picks. Now, we can counter offer, but they definitely want this pick. They want.
Is there only one trade?
Let's see. We got treated. So, pick 87, 119, 211. Obviously, these don't matter in the mock draft because we don't care. But in real life, this would probably matter. Future second-round pick. Next trade offer would be pick 40.
And 115. That's not terrible. That's not bad.
But look. Before we even decide on if we're going to accept this trade or not, look who's on the board.
Yeah.
Let's take a look here.
Yeah, right now I'm pretty comfortable with us sitting pat. in the second round, and just we won in the first. In my opinion, we won. Now we can benefit from three second round picks. I think you
Right.
just take advantage of that.
Right. So you
Um,
got Lucas Van Ness, wide receiver. I wouldn't want to take a wide receiver this early. Obviously, I'm focusing on defense. You got another edge player, BJ Olajarli. You got Darnell Washington, tight end, man. He's right there. You know, we don't have the future at tight end is not set. You know, we got a lot of 1-year band-aids, but this is a guy that can fit in this, you know, this Patriots offense, this Raiders offense, I should say, but, you know, McDaniel's offense. Guy that can block, big guy. I think he was like, what, 260 pounds, ran like a 4.6. You're that heavy and you running that fast, man.
I'll
Could be a
say
big
this:
year.
I'm not absolutely in love with anybody. I do like BJ Ojolari. I think you're going to get Chandler Jones replacement. You get some
Okay.
juice right above Darnell Washington.
All right. So look. Do you want to let the chat make this pick?
Yeah, chat.
All
You
right,
guys can
chat.
make this pick.
So you see who's on the board, top of the board right here. Who should we go? So
I mean,
he says Gonzalez.
yeah, I think Lucas Van Ness is the no brainer.
Yeah. Larry, man, hey, get Washington. I know. I see it there, but you know, after picking, you know, trading down a few times, getting the quarterback in the first round, do you want to attack the defense? Do you want to address the defense here, especially when it's all close in talent? Let's see.
To me,
Only two spots, not a bad trade. Okay. So he's talking about the trade. Let me go and show the trade. So these are the players on the board. Let me show you the trade offers that we got. Not this one. Do you want to drop 2 spots and pick up what? This is like what, 4th rounder?
Yeah.
And we give them like this is probably a 6th rounder, 231.
All right, people are saying trade down to 40 and get Washington. So
All right. Let's go ahead and do so. All right, let's do it.
with all the defensive needs, this is where we're going.
Man, we've traded almost every pick. All right.
That's a good sentiment.
Man. So the Saints get a center, Keon White, edge from Georgia Tech, gets drafted, and now we still have and Vikings just won't leave us alone. They want to trade with us, and man, they're trying to give us some picks here. But
I think we pick here. I think it's a no-brainer. I think to me this is Lucas Van Ness all the way. I mean, there's probably no situation he falls to 40, but with him on the board right here, we've traded so much. I think we start taking some talent because all the good talent's going to start getting eaten up.
okay, so you want to go edge here?
Yeah, I want to, because Lucas is going to be able to do a ton of stunts. He's going to be able to be kicked inside. He's going to open things up for Max and Chandler. So Lucas is one of those guys, especially year one. You can kind of do a lot of multitude of things with him, and he's just a dog. He's got a relentless motor. So for me, it's Lucas Van Ness. It could be up to the chat.
All right, let's see what the chat is thinking.
And everybody's saying we have too many picks to sign. We can still move up. We can take these later round draft picks and we can move up. So
you have 30 picks going this route. Man, too many picks to sign. Hey, man. Hey, this is my draft. We're just having fun here, but I see where you're going with this.
Yeah, I think it's Lucas Van Ness.
All right, let's go ahead and make this pick, man. All right, so back to the draft board. Mozzie Smith. See, this is another guy right here. D tackle.
Mm-hmm.
D tackle is not really. There's not a lot of options in the later rounds. Let's see. Drew Sanders goes pick 43.
Right before us. But that's okay. There's still some good linebackers on the board. So
and we're getting trade offers. Teams are seeing that we're trading. They're like, hey, let's just trade with the Raiders, man. They're accepting everything. Let's see. All right. None of these. All right, so let's get out of here. So, all right, so we got a guy that you still like, BJ Alari on the board, Darnell Washington, Jack Campbell.
Yep.
Are you looking maybe corner? Let's look at the defense here. You got DJ Turner on the board, Forbes still on the board. If you're looking
he's so small. That's my problem. He came into the combine at 160 pounds. So That's just so small to me. He's an explosive playmaker, but
Right. So it's probably gonna take him like a year
yeah.
or two to actually get to that weight.
Who's on the board for a linebacker?
Linebacker, Jack
Jack
Campbell,
Campbell, Noah
goes
Sewell,
well.
or Ivan Pace. Okay.
Might be a little too early for some of these guys.
Yeah.
There's some better players.
Jack Campbell's gonna be a good one, but
Darnell Washington's still on the board. He fits right in.
I'm
Fits right
also
in.
looking at Osiris Torrance down there as a guard. I think that would be a great fit for an offensive guard.
Okay. So let's see what the chat is thinking right now.
Okay.
Over there. Okay, but he got drafted already.
So you guys really, if you could take Osiris Torrance, a guard out of Florida, which would immediately bolster the interior of this unit, which we're going to be very run heavy this season. I think this is a clear upgrade over an Alex Bars. So you've got Osiris Torrance, you've got Jack Campbell or Darnell Washington. Who are you guys taking?
Look, these are the top players on the board. And I
like BJ Ojolari. I really do, but yeah,
another
Nolan
edge,
Smith is
back to back edge, addressing that front seven. Maybe getting a Chandler Jones replacement a year early before they get rid of him, possibly. That contract is ugly though, but that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, I don't think you can have too many pass rushers, to be honest with you, especially if we know he's going to be gone. So
right. Let's see. We'll let the chat. Let's see the chat decide here.
Everybody wants Washington.
Get Washington. Hey, that's enough. Hey, dude's a monster. He could block. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, let's take him.
Opportunity.
I like it,
man. Upgrades that offense. I know we got to go defense, but there's going to be plenty of picks to address the defense. So, oh snaps. Let me go. And boom. All right. So BJ goes next pick. That was your guy.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Jack Campbell goes to the Patriots.
Okay. Yeah. These guys are going to start coming off the board.
Cornerback. All right. Safety. Got Luke Musgrave, tight end, going off. All right. Remember, we got one more. We have a bottom of a second. Now we can pause it at any moment and see if we want to trade. So I'm gonna pause it right here. Do you guys want to trade up for any guy on the board?
If there was anybody who was probably going to be the guard, but let's see who's on the board.
Maybe getting a D tackle, possibly. I don't know if you
Javon Dexter might be a nice one to trade up for. Sitting and looking at the board right now, I don't think there's anybody worth trading up for.
Okay. Yes. So stay put.
Yeah, I'm okay with staying put. Let's just see how this board falls.
All right, so boom. So Forbes and the Seahawks upgrade that secondary. They already got some talent back there. Guy right here we was looking at, he gets drafted.
Mm-hmm. Javon Dexter, that's got a good pick.
What I mean? So it's like, man, possibility we could have traded up for a D tackle just because we know the talent for D tackle is gonna be it's not gonna be as strong late in the later rounds, but let's see. All right.
Derek Hall. Okay.
All right. So look, we got a trade offer, pick 97. Nah, you know what? I'm tired of trading.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
They can all kick around.
We just wanted to get some second round picks, some later round picks. All right. Okay. So top players on the board.
Cody Mock is sitting right there. I think he's best player on the board right now.
I think someone earlier talked about Cody Mock being a possibility, a guy that we should add. He's on the board. We could address the O-line, but then we can possibly go defense here. Let's see if there's any players that you would like to take at this spot.
No, I'm not gonna lie to you. So not on those list. Maybe hit the corners real quick. Let's see
corners. Ooh, Julius Prince.
Mm-hmm. He's good.
Playmaker right there.
I think we can get him in the third, though.
Get him in the third? You want to wait till the third to address the cornerback spot?
Yeah.
Linebackers, a little too early for them.
Yeah, a little too early.
Edge, we already addressed that. Safety, maybe safety. Is there anybody in safety?
No.
Too early. All right, so
Cody's still on the board. I think Cody's the pick.
All right. Cody is. Let's go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I think Cody's the pick. So we pick Cody, North Dakota State. I think that's a no-brainer.
Okay, so our next pick,
So we've upgraded the trenches, guys. We're done with the offensive line. We've upgraded
which is
that
smart.
unit, which is smart. And
Julius Brents.
yeah,
With top of the third.
yeah. I think we've taken 3 or 4 offensive players and 1 defensive player.
Right. Let's see. Trey Palmer. Let's see.
But you guys, it's not skill position based. We're not wasting these picks. We've upgraded the interior of this offensive line to build around this run heavy scheme. We got the quarterback of the future based off of the trade backs. We got the tight end to replace Darren Waller. It's just the way the board's fallen.
And let's keep it real. Like at the end of the day, like they're not going to be able to solve all the issues on this team all in one offseason. So right now at this point, we're trying to get the best players possible, and hopefully we're able to get some good players. We've gotten some good players in our opinion so far. Let's see. Man, we're not going to pick until man, because we each picked. Let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to get to our pick. Oh yeah.
We should have a top 100 pick.
No, we do. I'm trying to get to it. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Literally pick 100.
This is where we address. I would probably say the linebacker spot.
So I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna pause it right now, just to see who's on the board.
Yeah.
These are the players on the board right now.
Andre Carter. Maybe go check out the linebackers real quick.
Defense, linebacker, Henley.
Okay, Overshown is there. We might be able to get him at pick 100 though.
Okay.
Which would be really nice. Dorian Williams, another good guy. Maybe see what do we got at edge. I know we took Lucas Van Ness, but let's just kind of see.
Andre Carter second.
Zach Harrington, Isaiah Land, McGuire, Morris, Henry. Now DBs. Jalen Jones is there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm pretty comfortable.
Staying put. After being aggressive early, you're just
is Darius Rush on the board real quick?
Darius Rush. Yep, he is. South Carolina. Right here.
With them be projected to be 109s, let's hold pat and maybe we can grab both of these guys. I'm thinking a linebacker and Rush.
Okay.
I'm gonna bank on patience here.
All right, for sure. So, boom. Perry.
Sidney Brown.
So we pick 100. I think we pick right at the top. No, we don't.
Andre Carter. Zach Kuntz, that was a good one. But thankfully we already grabbed our tight end. Jalen Jones goes to the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping okay. I like that. Tyler Scott. I like the way the board's falling right now. So I think our patience might pay off here. Let's just hope the 49ers don't ruin it.
And if they do, all right, they didn't.
Perfect.
They went D tackle.
Perfect.
All right, no, we're gonna
take a corner or linebacker here.
Let's see some of these trades. Boom.
Nah. I mean, it is what it is. If their guy's not on the board, I could see them pull that. But in this situation, no.
All right, let's reject. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go and look at this draft board. We got tight end is not going to be an option at this point. We drafted that.
Line, we're good.
Line. So are you looking linebacker right here?
I think I'm going to go.
Are you going with your guy right here, Overshown?
I think we need a coverage linebacker more than what we need a corner right now. To me, to be honest with you, chat, I'm going to go Overshown. That's my pick in this situation, but you guys let me know. My 2 picks, my 1 and 2s would be Overshown and Rush, DB out of South Carolina. So you guys let me know.
All right, let's go to the chat and see what they're thinking. Ziegler would do this. He might. Who knows? I think Ziegler. I think the Raiders are going to be trading. They're going to be willing and dealing in the draft, whether it's in the first round or in later rounds. They got 12 picks.
Yeah, they're going to be aggressive.
They're definitely going to be aggressive. We're just hypothetically doing this mock draft. Usually the other mock drafts we did, we usually kind of stayed put, picked the best player on the board. In this instance, we were aggressive early. We did a lot of trade backs, which were crazy. I don't know. This one probably wouldn't happen in real life. we keep trading down a pick later and getting a second round. We got 2 second-round picks in our trades. I think. I'm not sure if we got.
T
I think we
Severe
did
says
another
go
trade in the other
rush.
round too.
T Severe says go rush. Well, you wanna give him the oh yeah, I do like Dalen Henley. I do like that, Dennis. That's a good. Yeah. Henley is the best linebacker on the board right now.
Okay.
Yeah, they're right.
Dennis
Dalen
Ortiz.
Henley. Hey, yeah, hey.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I would go Henley. I'm not even gonna lie. I'd probably go Henley here. Let's bolster up that front seven and let's let the corners develop here.
All right. So, let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. As you can see,
No, yeah,
Henley
Henley is the
right
pick.
here.
I honestly looked right over him.
All right. Let's
That's
go ahead.
he's
Is
gonna be
Henley
a
the
good
pick?
player. Yeah, he's a good player.
Let's go move it along because we got some
We-
picks later.
yeah.
All right. So we picked Henley up. Boom. Next pick. We got a pick at 109. Might be
Okay,
able to double dick
we might be able to, yeah.
at linebacker.
Which we know we stated it. Josh McDaniels is known to double down on positions.
Okay.
Jaron Hall goes to the Colts. I kind of like that.
Okay. The Broncos, are they going to do us dirty?
Nope.
Nope.
No, well, actually, I mean that's a good player, so I don't want to see that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And Green Bay wants to trade with us again. Let me see. Is that the only one? Okay.
nah.
So we're just going to reject.
At this point, I think we're okay on trades, unless
All
we
right,
trade
cool.
out.
All right. Darius Rush still on the
Uh,
board. I know T Severe was talking about him earlier.
I think we do this for T Severe because one, he's a good player, and two, he fell into our lap with us going out and getting the best linebacker on the board. To me, this is a no brainer.
Got to be cornerback or D lineman. Okay. All right. Afakazi, best linebackers available. Okay. I think this is from earlier. Oh, Dennis is like overshown.
Double down at the linebacker spot.
Washington's like Donald Parham hulking tight end. Huge. Another O lineman. They want their tight ends to block in this system. So, man, why not go after one of the best tight ends in the draft? Let's see. Well, which we did. We drafted Darnell Washington early in the second round.
So go defense and let's check the linebackers out real quick.
All right, let's see. All right, Alex Patterson. Man. All right, overshown. Okay, let's go back.
So Darius Rush is definitely there for us.
Darius Rush right here. Overshown is still on the board.
Wow.
Chat. I feel like it's going to come down to these two picks right now. Overshown or Darius Rush. Cornerback, linebacker. Let us know. Where should we go?
I'm kind of comfortable going and getting a duo at the linebacker spot because I do think it's a weakness for the Raiders. So I'd probably go Overshown, but hey, Rush is still on the board.
Overshown. I think this is from earlier. You're definitely watching the playback. All right.
Damn. Everybody's saying Rush right now.
Rush, corner. I get it. Corner, secondary.
Rush.
And you know what? Right. When it's close in talent, you draft for need.
Yep.
I believe in it. I feel like the chat.
Okay. Well, let's take a shot at a DB then. Let's take a shot at a DB here. Let's go Rush.
All right, let's go Rush.
I like this pick. I wasn't going to be mad at either one of them. I like both of these guys.
All right. Darius Rush, corner.
Boom. Perfect.
Boom. The only thing is I wish I could speed it up.
I know. We do have a pick at 115.
Got a pick at 115.
Oh, and right now, Overshown has fallen to our lap. So let's take Overshown.
Wow. Damn, this is the
patience
best draft of all time.
Patience has paid off for us in this situation.
All right. So we got one trade offer, and I am going to decline it. I'm going to decline it. We can't be here all day with these trades. All right. Reject. And I think we can all agree.
Yep.
Overshown's still on the board. Boom, boom. Let's see. Any other players that you would like to look at?
No,
it's an easy decision. Boom. Linebackers need help. I think this is like an easy no-brainer right here. So I'm gonna go for it.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm gonna go for it. Man, I want to see what this
Well,
draft.
Abakazi says, "Who have we chosen so far?" So I'll give you the rundown. We drafted Anthony
I
Richardson
think
at
I can
10.
click on it. I think we could. This is our draft so far. Anthony Richardson, after we traded down like twice, or at least twice.
We traded down twice and inherited. We inherited 2 second-round picks in trading down twice.
And then we traded again, just one spot or a couple spots down with the Saints. And then we drafted Lucas Van Ness with our first second rounder. We got Darnell Washington. So obviously a mix of offense, a little bit more offense than defense. But then we kind of doubled down here on defense here. Deion Henley, Darius Rush, and Marvion Overshown. All right, so let's get back to it.
So far, really good draft.
Man, I don't know if I'm about to.
Did we do the full set? We did.
Hey man, that's the one thing right now. Like it's going by so slow right now.
Yeah.
And I don't think we picked. So I'm good right now. I'm walking
good.
away right now.
Yeah.
With this draft, we can be aggressive. Let's try to trade and see if we can trade up. Let's see if there's anybody on
a bunch of these picks up and just take some good players.
All right. So are we? So I'm gonna press.
So I know you guys.
Look. Before I even go, let's go look at the board right now. Is there anybody that you want to trade up for?
Wait. See if the running back is still on the board. Go offense. Just in case, if he is on the board here, I'm taking him. Yeah, okay, we're trading up.
We're trading up, okay.
Yeah, we're trading up. We're gonna go get Roshan Johnson.
Okay, so Ray's like, hey, what's Josh Jacobs is gonna get traded.
Yeah, even if he's not, Zamir White can throw up the deuces. He can go. Brandon Bolden can go. Britton Brown can go. This guy's gonna be special.
This is just such a crazy draft. Like this is not going to happen in real life. But all right, so we're going to trade 119.
Vikings have been trying to trade with us all night, so let's finally trade with them.
So hold up, let's see who's the top players on the board. Let's see if it makes sense. Do you want to wait?
Hold on,
wait it out.
What is he valued at? Go to his
right now. He is 155.
Okay, that's
and look at you got all these players in front of him, but it's all about needs sometimes. Teams will at this point in the draft, they're going to start looking at their needs. So would you resume the draft? Let it play out?
Yeah, just let it play out. Just let it play out.
All right, let's see what happens. Okay, what the hell was that? All right. Boom. Ooh, Jair Brown was there. That's another guy a lot of people like too as well. Boom. So when's our next pick? Our pick is in the top of the 5th.
I say we send all of our picks and take 2 more players.
All right. So you're trading up?
Yeah, we're trading up. Yeah, everybody. I see everybody saying UFC 287. That's what I'm when I get off here. That's me and my wife are gonna sit down and enjoy it, man.
All right. Let's wrap it up. All right, so let's see who we can trade with. All right, let's see. Boom. Pros of trade. Giants. So it'll be NFC. Boom. Okay. What else I gotta do? Next. All right. Next. So what are we doing here? So
you can send
pick 141.
Take 174, 204, and 214, and let's move up. You can do all of them. I don't care. For 128.
For 128. Let's see if they accept it.
Propose.
Decline.
Oh, dang. All right, give up the house.
Oh, damn. See, the only thing is when we propose the trade, it like starts up the draft again. So let's see. Boom. Boom. All right. Boom. So, all right. Let's see this. Boom. Yeah, damn, we're gonna trade all this for and this is make believe. We don't care because right now we're short on time, so we're gonna make this happen. Let's see.
Right now we've actually killed this draft, so
yeah,
I'm okay with it.
Propose. Confirm. Whoo!
Thank you, New York.
Man. They said
all right,
that
we're on the board.
Back to simulation. We're on the board, and you want to draft your guy.
Yep.
Let's see. Offense, running back. Man, you're gonna trade up for you.
Hey.
It's Al Davis move right here.
Hey, I'm channeling my inner Al Davis. Let's go.
All right, boom. We picked him. Let's see.
Oh, he would be a stud. All right, so what? We only
Our
got one
last
more
pick
pick.
right here is 141. And let's see let's look at the
Go to CBs real quick.
deposit.
Because we don't. Yeah.
So defense. Cornerback.
Corey Price, Trey Clark.
So we got Mickey Garner, Corey Trice Jr.
And then dabble into the linebackers real quick.
Boom.
Dorian Williams is there. Hey, we'll take him with the next pick. Wait, did we already take 2 linebackers?
We already took 2 linebackers, Overshown and I think Darian Henley.
Okay. Well, Chat can make the next one. So it's the last pick. Just hit resume.
All right, let's go.
I like Dorian Williams.
All right. We're almost here.
And Chat, be ready to pick because this is your guys' pick. And then we're going to be able to wrap up and see how we did as a draft.
All right, so pick 141. We got no trade offers. People tired of trading with us now. So let us know, chat. Like, where do you want to go? Do you want to top? Okay, you got safety, Ronnie Hickman. Maybe grab a center or guard. You know what I mean? We're right in that sweet spot in the draft where a lot of these players get taken. Andrew Voorhees is right there. He had a serious injury though.
All right. Is there a linebacker on the board? We already took 2.
Defense, linebacker, already took 1. Dorian Williams is right there.
He's still there. He's still a good player. We could probably use 3.
So let's see. I'm gonna just hop in the chat real quick. Boom. People's talking about the fights. All right.
Yeah, it's a stat card. Edge. Let's see an edge real quick.
All right, let's go. Boom. Edge. Boom.
McGuire, Mike Morris, KJ Henry.
D tackle is something that we ignored. That might haunt us.
Yeah, it might haunt us. Go DT. Because we're gonna take one right here.
Let's see. Who is this guy? Let's see here.
Oh, he's a 3 tech. Perfect. Patrick Graham knows how to do that. Swipes, bull rushes, rips.
Okay. 1 gap, 3 tech.
289 seems like a pass rushing defensive tackle. We can take that.
I feel you. Let me go ahead and pick him. All right. Let me get out of here. Boom, close. And pick him. Boom, we're done.
Boom. That concludes our draft. All right. I guess you can pause it and we can review our draft.
All right, let's go. Boom. Let's see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a draft full of trades. So AR-15 with our first round pick after 2 trade downs, still in the top 10. We were able to get a couple of second rounders, AR-15, and obviously first pick in the second round, Lucas Van Ness. And after that was after another trade down. And then we got Darnell Washington, tight end out of Georgia, Cody Mock, O-tackle, North Dakota State, Deion Henley. As you can see, man, this is man, I like this. I like
this draft a lot. I like
this draft. We got some talented players. Definitely would have wanted to get a D tackle, especially early, because
But you can do that with Lucas Van Ness. Lucas has played interior, so he can line up there, and then you could put a nose tackle in there, which Patrick Graham has done well. So Lucas can pass rush from the inside, which is why I wanted to take that pick at 40.
Yeah. So here is our 5-round edition mock draft, and I know everybody's getting ready to watch some of these UFC fights that's going on right now. So I'm gonna go ahead,
right,
and get back to it. Oh man, I just noticed my camera went out too. All right, cool.
No, everybody, thank you guys for tuning in. I think this was a great show. We nailed the draft. We had a lot of good calls. We nailed a lot of topics talking about Mark Davis. I mean, It's endless. We're going to have a lot of content dropping as we head towards the draft. So make sure you guys are subscribed to Pharoah NFL and Real Raider Ray and everybody that's enjoying the fights tonight. Have a good time. Be safe. Make smart decisions. And for tomorrow, everybody, happy Easter. God bless all of you. Pharoah, you got any closing statements?
Nah, man, we had a great show. We appreciate everybody coming through, man. Make sure to hit that like button. Like I said, the algorithm is very real. I know a lot of people are going to be enjoying the festivities this weekend to be with your families and enjoy the fight, the UFC fights right now. So go ahead and tune in on that. But make sure to subscribe to both our channels because the next time I go live, it's going to be on Raider Ray's channel. So make sure you go ahead and hit up his channel and subscribe, like button, all that good stuff. And we appreciate everybody coming in the chat. We weren't able to get to everybody. Y'all was, man, there's so many messages, man. But if we couldn't get to you, let us know in the comment section down below. Anything you guys thought about what we talked about in the show, your thoughts on where the Raiders are going to go with pick number 7 this offseason, the future of the Raiders, all that good stuff. Make sure to let us know in the comments down below, man. We appreciate everybody coming through. And man, it's the offseason, so we're not going to do the Al Davis just win, baby. But I got some for y'all, man. Just give me just 1 second right here.
Great Pharaoh. The gift of Troy is a fabulous fabric from the land of the 5 rivers.
Just win, baby.
Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play